Hi everyone, welcome. FPLMattDay here, and I'm joined live by special guest at FPLRoo. We're going to go through our favourite FPL picks for the double game week 27. There is 3 double game weeks. We're both absolutely buzzing for this. So we're just going to go through some of our best captains, differentials, player picks, ready for what's going to be another massive game week. Just before I get into it, I'll quickly introduce FPLRoo. Go and check him out on his channel. His channel is at FPLRoo, which you can see there on the screen. So go and check it out. I'm going to tag him in this video once it's uploaded as well. So go on there and hit subscribe if you haven't done already. Also, if you want to just like this video, subscribe to my channel as well if you haven't done already, and get your comments in if we've missed any players that you think are going to be good for this game week. But FPLRoo, how are you going, mate? Are you nervous about this game week, or are you just excited for it like all of us? Or
yeah, I'm excited. Obviously, I played my wild card in game week 26, and probably this is one of the main reasons why. So hopefully, the Brighton and Brentford players can repay my faith in them.
Buzzing, mate. And how many have you got in your team? Brentford and Brighton players. Have you gone three per team?
Yeah, I've got 6 total, so three each. Yeah.
And any Palace?
No Palace, no Southampton. So
awesome.
yeah, all in on Brighton and Brentford.
Cool.
Which I'm not mad at.
You're not mad at? Yeah, I think they're probably the 2 best teams from this double game week. Actually, I keep forgetting. So Southampton have got the double game week as well, right?
Yeah. So Southampton and Palace both have a double game week, but I don't think it's as good as Brighton and Brentford's. So
yeah, because no one's talking about Southampton and Ward-Prowse. Obviously, we're going to go through our picks in a minute, but Ward-Prowse seems to be on a bit of a purple patch with his free kick. So who knows? Maybe he's going to be in mine or FPLRoo's differential picks. Wait and see. But we'll just quickly go through the fixtures for double game week 27 before we get into our picks. So like we said before, it's Brentford, Brighton, Southampton, and Crystal Palace. So Southampton, they play Man United away and Brentford at home. So it's okay. It's probably tough. Tough, to be honest, probably some of the toughest ones. And then you've got Palace, who have got Man City at home, and Brighton away. And Brentford is Everton away and Southampton away, which is quite a strong double game week. And then we've got Brighton, who have got Leeds away and Palace at home. So they've probably got the best double game week there. But let's go into our top 3 picks for this game week. So these picks are going to be my top 3 picks, and then at FPLRoo's top 3 picks as well. So these aren't necessarily just double game week players. They could be, like, we could end up just having double game week picks. I don't know FPLRoo's picks, so he hasn't told me yet. So this is going to be new to me as well. But all these picks and differentials and captains that we pick on this stream, they can just be for the game week itself, but they're probably going to be mainly double game week players. So I'll let FPLRoo give me his top 3 picks, starting from number 3 to number 1, and then I'll go through mine. So who's number 3?
So number 3, I've gone for a defender. With these sort of picks, I like to maybe give a variety of positions. So if you wanted to bring in a defender or midfielder or forward, so Estupinan, if I've pronounced that right.
Oh, yeah, it's a great pick. He's been on fire as the left back.
Left back. Yeah, only 4.8 million, and he's got a few. I don't think he's blanked since game week 19, which is against Everton.
Wow.
Since then, he's returned in all games. Another good thing with him is he comes off early sometimes. So 61 minutes he came off 2 games ago, and then in the last game he came off 75 minutes. So you're kind of saving yourself from like that last 20-minute heartbreak of conceding in your clean sheet, getting wiped out. And he's got an assist in him too. So that's probably one of my big picks.
That's a good pick. I tell you what, it's a good point about him coming off early, because when defenders come off just after that 60th minute mark, they normally bank some of the bonus points as well, especially if a goal is then conceded later on. So yeah, that is a very good pick. I think he's going to be popular. Who's your number 2?
Number 2 is Mitoma.
Mitoma,
yeah. I know. I think you actually told me about him in the World Cup fantasy game. I remember you had him as like your one to watch. I'm pretty sure.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Japan.
yeah. So 5.5 million. Again, it's cheap enough to have in your bench if you can upgrade from Andreas. Golden assist last time out. So, and a potential captain option, but we'll talk about that later on.
Awesome. All right. So who's your number one?
A bit boring, but yeah, I've got to be Tony. Got to be
Tony,
Tony. Yeah. On penalties, 7.7 million. So a good price if people have still got Mitrovic or or someone else like that price range. Scored last time out on penalties. I think he's probably the best option this week.
No, good stuff. So some really good picks then from FPLRoo. I'm really liking the SG Pinan pick as well. And obviously, it's gone with Matoma as number 2 and Tony as number 1. So I'll quickly give my top 3 picks. Slightly different, but still same in a way. So I've gone number 3. I've gone with Solly March. Maybe a bit of bias because he is in my team, but I've always been a fan of midfielders or forwards, players that attack and that can score goals. Solly March can score goals. Although he hasn't actually scored a goal in March, I did find out that he's never actually scored a goal in March, even though he's called Solly March. But 2 games with him, I'm really excited about him. So he had that purple patch of form. Hopefully he gets it again in game week 27. So he's my number 3. Number 2 is going to be Tony as number 2. He's in my team as well. But the reason he's going to be number 2, just in case something happens with the ban. I know I think I said on previous podcasts, the ban is probably something that's going to happen more long term. We might not find out, but he's also riding this risk of bookings. And I know even if he gets booked in the first game, he doesn't miss the second. But yeah, Tony's just one of those players that does carry cards. You just never know what's going on in his head at the moment. So I'm going to put him number 2. So I'm going to be slightly different there. And 1, I'm going to pick Matoma. Because he just seems to be on fire every game and every attack Brighton are involved in. He seems to be getting the goal and the assist. So that's going to be my top 3. So, slightly different to yours, mate. But, yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, no, really, really good. I've got all 3 of them. So hopefully they can do the business. So I did actually say on my game week 27 wildcard draft video that I actually prefer McAllister now over March, but okay. I feel like that's just because he's just scored a penalty. So hopefully, March can deliver.
No, that's a good point because obviously you always want set piece takers in there and penalty takers, which leads me to the 3 differentials. So my number 3, so I'll go with my 3 for now. I've got Ferguson in at 2%. Really big differential. He's been getting the minutes. Got 82 minutes on the weekend for Brighton. Looks like a good finisher. He kind of reminds me of a young Harry Kane sometimes, the way that he actually finishes his chances and the way he's in the air. That was Quinton from the FPL Amateurs of Oz that actually told me that. So I think he's got a pretty good point there. So he's my number 3. Number 2, I'm going with Matthias Jensen, who got 10 points for Brentford the other night, 1.6% owned as a midfielder. Really, really liking that. He's having a really good season in there. And number 1, I'm going to steal that one from FPLRoo, who he did just mention. Alexis McAllister, 4.2% owns my number 1 differential on pens. Probably takes free kicks as well, I'm assuming as well. But now he's got the pens. It looks like he's hitting a bit of form again post World Cup. So that's my top 3. FPLRoo, who are yours from 3 to 1?
So number 3 is Kyle Walker-Peters. So
what a pick! Last from the past.
So I think he might have just come back from injury because he only started the last game and then got 20 minutes in the game before that. But Southampton have actually, I won't say turned things around, but I've got a couple of good results recently. So they won 2 of their last 3 games, 2 clean sheets in the last 3 games as well. And you can always get attacking returns with Walker-Peters. And who knows how United are going to react after that thrashing the other night. And
that embarrassment.
So always could get a clean sheet, could get attacking returns. My other pick is Mbeumo, if I've said that right.
Mbeumo,
I just think he looks lively every time I watch him.
He does.
4.6% owned, 5.8 million. I think if you can't afford Tony, I think get him in. Definitely a good option, and always looks lively. And I feel like he's really unlucky as well at the same time. So I
Always
feel
hits
like
the
he
bar.
always. Which is, I don't know if it's a good thing or not. But hopefully, a few of them can go in for him at one point if you do end up getting him in. And yeah, probably another one would be Eze. So
Yeah, he's always good for a double game week.
yeah, it's just the only thing is his minutes. It's a full-on differential: 2.1%, 5.4 million. Southampton are terrible. They haven't won a game since the game week 18 against Bournemouth.
Wow.
So they've been really bad. And Eze's been kind of dropped. He hasn't really started that many games for some reason, because I feel like he's one of the most kind of attacking players, him and Elise and Zaha. So it's a real differential. But Palace do have a good record against City, and they do have City at
Yeah, they
home.
do. Okay.
And Brighton's a derby, so I feel like they have to turn up for that.
Well, they call it a derby, don't they? They call it a derby, but I honestly really like those differentials because they are genuine differentials. And I will say, I did do a tweet last night and I had a bunch of Palace fans replying saying, "Do not pick our players, do not pick our players." But sometimes I find when it's the game weeks that you don't expect teams to do anything, like Palace and maybe Southampton, these are the game weeks where they deliver. So you never know. I've seen Eze in double game weeks get 10 points before, and everyone's like, wow. So yeah, I love.
And they've got to turn things around eventually. Like they're kind of they've got too many good players to not sort it out. Palace. So and they had a good record against City and a derby.
Yeah, well, they usually score in that derby. So now I really like those picks. And look, it's only the top three. I'm going to throw one quick curveball differential. He's not in the top three list, but I wanted to throw in Ward-Prowse because he's one of those players that you can put him in over 2 games, and all it takes is a free kick, and he's getting close to David Beckham's free kick record now. I think he's only a couple of free kicks from being the Premier League's all-time free kick scorer. Could even be less than that now. Imagine that he gets it at Old Trafford, hat trick of free kicks on the weekend and beats David Beckham at Beckham's home. So, incredible. But that is our differentials. Let's do our 3 captains, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to be looking forward to this bit, because this is where, it makes or breaks your game week having a good captain, especially right now when we're not perma captain Haaland anymore. So, let's get your 3. So go. Who's your number 3?
My number 3 is going to be Marcus Rashford.
Yeah. Okay.
So I know it's kind of, again, it's probably going to be a differential captain because people will be going for double game week players. But I feel like Man United, even though I've just said Kyle Walker-Peters, but Man United surely have to like show something and kind of come back and bounce back from that humiliating defeat against Liverpool. So yeah, Rashford, who's at Southampton at home. Next is kind of a joint, as I haven't decided yet, but this is what I think I'm going to go for. So Matoma is second.
Okay.
Double game week, Leeds away, and Palace at home, so pretty good. And he's been on fire recently. Gets good bonus and attacking, assist, goals. So definitely a good player to have in your team and maybe captain.
Okay.
And number 1 is Tony. Like I said, it's just penalties. Penalties get me.
Yeah.
Just easy points if they do get a penalty. And
he's good at free kicks as well.
Yeah, did he hit the post the other night, right in the corner, right?
Yeah, he's done that twice this season. He's also scored one. So
definitely a good option. And he's been on fire this season. I think I saw a stat where he's got 1 more goal than Rashford, and they're talking about Rashford for Ballon d'Or. Like,
that's
it's
nonsense.
Ridiculous.
Wow.
So,
good picks.
Yeah.
Good picks. I'll tell you what, little side, it's going to sidetrack quickly because I want to do my 3 captains. But talking to Tony, it would feel like the most, me and FPLRoo are both Spurs fans, and it would feel like the most Spurs thing to do is if we sold Harry Kane to Man United only to sign Tony for him to get a 6 months ban from football. Sounds like one of the most Spurs things that could happen next season. But right now, there isn't a ban. Ake, he is a booking 2 bookings away from a 2-match ban. So if you get him in for this game week, he gets booked in the first game, booked in the second game. He's then gonna miss game week 28 and then the first game week at 29, which is a double game week. So yeah, he is riding that yellow card wave. But again, I have to say, good captain. So
and you'll need him for 28 as well, as it's a blank game week. So you're risking that as well.
Definitely. So you're going to get some good games out of him. I'll quickly do my top 3. It's actually exactly the same as FPLRoo, and we didn't even talk about our captains off air. We actually just had our own separate notes, and I've gone Rashford number 3 as well, and that's just because home to Southampton, there could be a backlash. He's been on form, and his Old Trafford record has been unbelievable this season. Number 2, I'm actually going to put Tony in number 2. So slightly different to FPLRoo. I think Tony, for me, the only reason he's number 2, even though he's on the pens and stuff, I just think my number 1 pick, I'll say my number 1 pick is going to be Matoma, and I like those clean sheet points from midfielders that I think Brighton can get. I think Brighton can get at least 1 clean sheet, so gives you the clean sheet point and the extra goals from a midfielder. And his form, I feel like he has got, in that Leeds game, I feel like he's got a goal or 2 in him. And in the Palace one, in a derby, he's just that type of player that just turns up, scores a goal in a derby game. Like I like that. So like I'm chasing midfielder and I'm chasing clean sheet points. So Matoma edges it for me. Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I think you might have changed my mind. I didn't think about the clean sheet points. Yeah, that's definitely a good thought. And yeah, the extra point for the midfielder. I just always think who's more likely to score, and in my head, I think it's Tony. But really, Matoma doesn't need to score more than Tony. He probably just has to get maybe the same amount of returns, but he could do that in assists, and he could do that in goals and clean sheets.
Well, midfielders gravitate towards the 3 bonus points more when they score a goal as well, compared to a striker. One thing I will say, I don't know if it will sway you for this week, but go back to the double game week when it was between Haaland and Rashford. I went Rashford. Actually, did you go Rashford triple captain that week? You didn't go Rashford.
No. I did it on
Did you
Saturday,
go Haaland captain?
No, I think I went Rashford when everyone did triple.
Okay.
Yeah,
you didn't triple him. I'm getting a similar feeling with Matoma to what I had with Rashford then, where the reason I went Rashford at the time was form, midfielder points, and clean sheet points. So we'll see if that changes your mind. But look, that is all of our picks. Any final comments about any of the picks, differentials, or captains that you wanted to give?
No, not really. Just remember, like if you bring in Brentford players, they'll have a game in game week 28 as well. So you're kind of getting 2 positives. You're getting a double game in the blank, and then a double again in 29. So yeah.
No, good stuff. And love your picks, mate. Thanks for coming on at FPLRoo. It's been great to have you on as a guest. So like I said, go and give him a subscribe. I'm going to tag him in the description, so you can literally just click on there, hit subscribe, check out his videos. He's got some really good wildcard videos at the moment as well, all the way up until game week 34, isn't it, on most of them? So
yeah, so it goes through the blank potential blank game week in 32, and then double in 34, and potential double in 31 too.
Awesome. Can't wait for everyone to go on there and check out FPLRoo's content. But we will leave it at that. I'm at FPLMattDay. Please give this video a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and get your comments in there. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now, and good luck for game week 27.
Good luck.